and Orgless. And a special shout out to Plantronics, who jumped in as sponsor for the competition, who have provided Rig 500E headsets for myself and Flakes to borrow. And I've really been enjoying using mine. It's sort of taken my game to the next level. I might have to look at investing into one. So thanks lots to those guys for getting involved. And in the end, very close game, but Orgless end up blitzing through in the overtime to take the first map, and going to be looking to do the same thing on Mirage as we get the 9th round underway. So Flakes, do you think we're going to see a 2-0 here?
I think the potential is certainly there, especially with the fact that this is, of course, Orgless' map pick. So they want to play Mirage, they feel comfortable on this map, and well, that's surely going to be a fairly big factor as we go into this one.
Yeah, for sure, and starting out on T side, so it's an interesting map, Mirage. It's one where, in theory, you can pick up quite a few rounds on T side, and you'd expect... Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. I've got that completely wrong, and it's actually Reason Gaming that are on the T side. So Orgless going to be looking to lock things down as best they can, and it's one of those real momentum maps, probably the biggest momentum map in the pool. I'd suggest the way it can go down, especially on CT side. If you end up getting behind, it's really tough to then bring things back. Sliggy with the Deagle in hand, already picking up 2. Whoever tries to get aggressive on release, pulse and release work together to end up picking up that frag in the end. So Orgless looking solid, and they do clean up despite Sliggy trying to do some serious damage, and it is a very comprehensive first round for Orgless on their A hold. So maybe this is a sign of things to come, and if a CT side can get on top of you, can rack up plenty of money, so that's not a concern. If they can keep rebuying their AWPs that they want, for example, can keep making those mid picks maybe, or just an AWP on CT steps, maybe just dealing with the A ramp, just as a couple of examples, then this could end up being a very quick one for Orgless. But I don't want to put in a strong showing on CT side, just put this thing beyond doubt. They don't want it going as close as it did last time, especially on what is a very hot evening. I think hottest day of the year so far, isn't it? 32 degrees in a lot of places.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The heat is just it's just not okay.
No. And it's one of those factors you talk about when you play at a LAN, that it's a marathon, not a sprint, to sit there and play sometimes 10, 11, 12, 13 hours straight. Even if you've only got 1 or 2 matches, just sitting, playing in this heat, depending on how well you deal with it, it's it's pretty tough. And even if you do set yourself up with that good air conditioning, etc., the sound of it might end up throwing you off when you get into game, unless you've got a very good headset with noise cancelling, etc., etc. So all these things, they can potentially throw a team off just a little bit, and it's not the most pleasant of conditions to be sitting behind a PC gaming. And as PT, he's able to use the Sliggy coming in from behind, so again he's trying to make some entries, and it is advantage for Reason Gaming as they make their way. Release trying to do some damage with the ump, and he's cracking that thing away. He does eventually pick up 1, but he's got no bullets to try and react as Keita jumps down and picks him up. So Mighty Max left last man against 2, and Reason could be bringing this thing straight back. So he tries to make his move into the site. Keita and Sliggy both down to 70, but Sliggy's able to pick it up, and it's a trade straight back. Reason Gaming bring it back to 1-1.
And there is something that certainly has to be said about that round alone. If Release didn't miss a horrendous amount of shots with that UMP there, then he quite easily would have found that second frag. But instead he ran out of ammo, in fact, because as I said, he missed a fairly horrendous amount of shots there with that UMP at that range. So maybe next time we've got to be opting to try and tap away with it instead of just going for the fully committed spray, especially when just the spray didn't quite go correct from the get-go. And well, you do find a lot of people saying that if you mess up a spray from the get-go, it's best sometimes just to stop and readjust or go for the tap, so it is to follow it through. And well, it certainly is something that perhaps could have boded well for him if he did try and change things out a little bit there. But 1-1, of course, being the scoreline didn't quite work out for him this time around, and Orgless actually find themselves being a little bit upset by the Reason Gaming side there, as they now find themselves handed an advantage here. They've got some UMPs to play with, 2 rifles, in fact, on Sliggy and Weber as well, and albeit some Julies on Depan, but he's certainly going to be enjoying himself, having a good time with those. And well, for the Orgless side, it's going to be just a handful of pistols. They're going to be trying to, for combat this one, just deliver another upset straight back and take it to a lead here. But they're going to struggle as the range of the rifles are going to be coming in strongly. As Sliggy takes the head clean off of PC to kick things off. And the flash, of course, will roll in towards mid there. So just making sure that nothing too quick is, of course, going to be rolling out from the Reason side. So at least Orgless have the tempo to play with. But even then, controlling it is going to be the hardest part for them now, as we do see Pulse get himself nice and comfortable, but even nervous to try and push through on towards jungle. They're just going to be holding that angle and making sure no one decides to wrap through towards connector.
Now he's going to be first to face. He's already taken Bates' head off before Weber able to trade and make sure to call that there is a player around about double stack. But Keita gets one. Pulse trying to trade back, and Keita able to pick up on Weber as well. So a very solid round again from Reason Gaming. A lot of HP went down for a couple of those Reason players, but they escape with their life, and they do take a slender 2-1 lead here going into the T side. And probably going to piggyback through, get the next one as well. Orgless going just full eco, no utility, no anything. So in theory, you'd expect to see a 3-1 for Reason, and then the first buy versus buy. But how many times have we seen these eco rounds go in favour of the team that have been up against it with the weapons? They just play that little more sneakily, perhaps. And all it takes is one frag on the CT side. A little bit of an unusual play, perhaps, a push that you're not expecting, and then from then on it can end up swinging in their favour. So who knows? And this is by no means Reason's round guaranteed.
Of course, it really is up for grabs to anyone at this point. Keita, of course, going to be peeking around the corner, looking forward to release the molly. Going to be rolling out, but it's actually going to molly Shadow, and not quite that upper position, which means Release can just sit there. He can sit tight, be comfortable, and potentially look to find himself a frag here. And the same thing applies to Keita, but Keita, in fact, going to be falling back further in towards Palace, really just biding his time with that UMP and making sure he doesn't quite do anything too quick and too outspoken just yet, of course. Sliggy very, very patiently will spot out Route Snake, in fact, so already going to be opening things up there with a frag on towards him, making use of that rifle. That's now Keita at a perfect opportunity. Will find himself one, turns around, tries to find Release, not quite going to work out in his favour as he will fall, but Bafe is going to find the trade frag, and now Pulse, he's got that pistol in hand, connects a headshot on towards Sliggy, so going to be taking him down, but even then, what can they do as Max actually going to be fighting back, doing the unthinkable, making the USP, doing some work with it as he finds himself a frag onto Depan, bringing it straight back to a 2v2. Now it's all going to be on Pulse and Max. They have to play this one perfectly with these pistols if they want to make this one happen, and it will be Weber to find a frag on towards Max straight off the bat. And we do see Pulse bends a couple of shots around the box there on towards Weber, bring it back to a 1v1, but even then Bafe will snap things right back and finds the trade frag, doing the work there, and it means Reason Gaming managed to walk away with a bit of a 2-round lead now.
Yeah, they really do, and we've now got the first buy versus buy coming up, but I guess Augurs can take some solace in the fact they've done some serious damage in these rounds. But you take a look at this buy coming in, they've all got cash to spare on this Reason Gaming side. Got the AWP up in the hands of Dipfast. Let's see what he can do with that. Well, as Baith going down straight away as he tries to step aggro into mid where PT is sitting. So decent information. PT is one nade away from losing his life if he's not careful. They know he's in the connector, and there's not too many places that you can move from connector already. You can try and fall out to mid, but you see Sliggy's already got that under control. So 9HP chasing into there. It's a tough one. Got Pulse in the mid, and PT, he's dropped all the way back. He's got himself safe, at least for the time being. Sliggy trying to work into the mid. Keita trying to work up onto A ramp, so he's got no direct attention just yet, but I bet he will the second he tries to step out into the open, as August going to want to try and lock this one down on their map pick. 58 seconds left to go on the clock, ticking away. Reason, maybe caught guilty of pushing a little bit too late last time around. Will we see the same thing again? Will we be waiting until 30 seconds or less before they make any kind of commitment to a site? I wouldn't rule it out, as they're now looking perhaps where they want to go. Keita steps out, and he's now caught blind, but a very well-timed flash. I think it might have been his teammate from Apps completely blinded Release for a while, and there's Release going down. PT 19 points of health. If he catches an nade, that's game over for him. Sliggy, he's taking down Pulse in the meantime, and Weber does bop up that low HP player of PT. Plant going down. 25 seconds left to go on the clock. Just less than that now. It's Dipon watching the steps, and he does get the pick on Max, who goes for the shoulder peek, and I thought he might have had a chance there, but in the end it's another very comfortable one. First buy versus buy goes in favour of Reason, and now it's a chance for them to turn the screw and make the economy pay.
Of course, that's going to be the big thing so far. It's all going to be about just really trying to hit the nail on the head, suffice to say, as Reason start to take a bit of a lead here. 4-1, of course, being the scoreline. Those pistols now going to be coming into play for the Orgless side once again. Well, they did manage to make them work earlier on in the game. They managed to find themselves a couple of frags, and even then, that certainly is going to be a benefit for them, but they weren't quite able to close out the round, and that's going to be the big thing, as they're already placed on the back foot once again. And for the Reason side, it's all going to be on those rifles. They just are so strong right now about taking these long-range battles and denying Orgless those close opportunities on these anti-eco rounds that it really does just take the wind out of their sails, suffice to say, and really catch them off guard. As now Depan going to be trying to make the best of the situation. He's, of course, tapping away. Doesn't quite connect anything just yet, as Pulse, though, does find himself eventually getting knocked down to just 75 HP. And, well, tempo going to be a big part of this series so far. We saw it play a big factor in that first map, and well, it's certainly rolled into this second map as well, where both teams are really looking to control the pace here and make sure that neither team are being too passive or aggressive at that same sort of time here. And it will be, of course, be a bit of an A-push, certainly set to come in very, very soon. And PT and Release going to be the gatekeepers this time around, both playing that crossfire towards Rampant. Well, this could prove to be devastating towards the Reason side, but if Sliggy's allowed to run out here, then he can completely stop this one happening before it even kicks off. And the Flash going to do wonders. They will, of course, peek out. Release will find one. Rattlesnake finds himself another, and Depani actually finds himself a team frag on towards Baith. So he does open the doors up for the Orgless side, and suddenly an opportunity will present itself, but not before Sliggy comes around that corner on towards CT, connects a frag on towards Pulse, and brings it straight back to a 2v2. But even then, this is still on the cards for the Orgless side if they can play this one perfectly. But it appears Sliggy, he's popped on to where Money Max is staying. He's going to be tagging him down. He's got nothing he can do here, and he's going to fall, and Depan is going to use the AWP to find a pick on towards Rattlesnake. And all that is that one done and dusted around that got so close. Could have quite literally went any direction with those pistols. Was once again snatched away from the Orgless side by the hands of Reason Gaming.
Yeah, you do wonder that if rounds stay as close as they are, especially with loss bonus as it is now, and Orgless can keep putting buys together, double AWP this time. That's how they will end up locking things down at some point, but yeah, maybe we're going to need to see something that's a little bit different from them. They're going to be expecting buy versus buy, they're going to be expecting people pushing up, getting aggressive. Maybe this is the time for something like a Swag 7 or some kind of SMG, like a P90 push or something like that from Orgless, just to try and change up the tempo a little bit and give them something else to worry about. Because for the time being, there are a lot of frags coming in, but there are not a lot of rounds at this point. And maybe this is something they need to think about. Maybe try and work some kind of pick. There's Rattlesnake, so he's taking down Keita, and that's going to just soften up the attack. They want to go in that direction. Dipan might be another target for one of these AWPs. Maybe Rattlesnake's going to have a little look, and let's see, where's Dipan playing it. Let's have a look. So he's got mid control. Maybe Rattlesnake could be tempted to have a look out towards mid, and that's the direction he's going. So this could be a chance, and this is a good opportunity for Reason to bring themselves back into things, and a trade in their favour would end up making things slightly easier for them. It just softens up a site and makes a player have to think about making their rotate. 40 seconds left to go, and this has got a similar pattern to some of Reason's T pushes. Maybe just a little bit too slow on the uptake. Maybe needs to start thinking about where they want to make a move, and Rattlesnake has got himself all the way up to CT steps, ready to bolster defense. Release up close, so he's already dropped the bomb. That's 2 frags that he's got now. Sliggy and Weber going down. Rattlesnake is up on the T steps. He's taken one. He's got call in for Baith as well, who pushes in close, takes down Release. 1v3, Release. Oh, no, sorry. Rattlesnake ends up grabbing that frag, and it is going to be Orgless putting their first round on the board. You have a look at Reason, though. Plenty of cash. They are still going to be able to buy with a drop going down for Baith, which they're not going for. Instead, they're going to leave him on Tech 9 armor.
Yeah, certainly an interesting decision coming into play there. Of course, the scoreline going to be 5-2. Orgless doing okay now. They have managed to claw one back and just really add to the tally just a little bit there. But even then, is it going to be enough? That's the question on everybody's mind right now, and certainly the question on my mind as well, as we do, of course, go into our 8th round now. And what we do see, it's going to be a bit of a B hit coming into play here, which means it's all going to be on Max. That player who's going to be patiently waiting M4 in hand. A player we've seen do some beautiful things before. Well, he looks to try and make something happen again, but Baith with the Tech 9 is going to be taking his head clean off, and now it's all going to be on Pulse. The gatekeeper with the AWP, but he finds himself out-fragged by Depan as well. So one frag not going to be enough just for him just yet. Now as he, of course, will fall, and Rattlesnake going to be coming in to rotate, finds himself a frag on towards Depan. So some good trade frags coming into play as we fall straight back into a 3v3. But the flash going to mean that Rattlesnake is forced off of his spot now. He can't quite peek out as wide as he planned before. And now Sliggy, though, holding the crossfire. But PT goes to the push, will get taken down, and Weber, he'll find himself a frag as well. And well, Rattlesnake, he's forced to run away, 15 HP, running for the hills, trying to see if he can take this AWP into the next round. As a round that suddenly fell from a 4v3 to a 3v3. It was all on the cards for the Orgless side. They could have made that retake happen, but unfortunately this time around it's not quite going to pay off in their favour. Reason Gaming, they pick up the round, they take down that AWP, deny any opportunity for it to be saved, and they edge out their 6th round, really starting to extend their lead by 4 rounds now. They're looking so strong once again. the big question left to be answered is it going to go in a similar fashion to we saw that first map over on Cash? Are we going to see Orgless bring it back on their T side and fight back 10 times harder and really bring the passion and the hype to the game? That's certainly something I'm thinking about, and I'm sure you guys are thinking about as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to really run through this team if they want to make that thing happen on T side, which is potential if it's their map choice, and maybe they've got strats aplenty that they can unleash. But this is a different style of map, Mirage, to Cash. Cash, you can see that going in so many different directions for Mirage. Well, again, it can play in different ways, but if one team starts to get really behind, it's kind of tough to then reverse that momentum, especially on that half in question. And Reason are probably going to keep hammering this thing home, and if they're not careful, then it could be almost out of reach. And one pistol hold for Reason on their CT side might end up spelling the end of this game if Orgless aren't careful. So they need to start thinking about how they're going to get themselves back into this thing, as it can very quickly run away with you a game on Mirage, which is something they're going to have to be careful of. So I think if Reason can get themselves to 10, 11 rounds, maybe even more, with the kind of pattern we're seeing so far. Sliggy takes down one, and Sliggy's got players trying to catch him up close, and you see they are now thinking about whether they want to push, but straight away it's a clean-up operation, and Reason should be able to keep quite a lot of this economy going forward into the 9th round. Mike Max gets one for Weber, able to grab Pulse. Last man standing is Mike Max, who's caught. Aside from one casualty, Reason going to be taking most of those weapons in, along with their 7th round, and Orgless, they can't buy again. They're going to have to just force up something if they want to do that. Maybe go for Tech 9 armor, upgraded pistols, and see a few P250s coming in. But that's the plan they're going for.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it does work out on their Fader, of course. It seems to be a bit of a mid-push coming into play, and a rifle going to be there ready and waiting, but it doesn't matter as the CT of Pulse is going to go absolutely huge. Finds itself 2 frags on towards Keita and the Pan. So some great stuff coming out from Orgless, really opening up the round with an absolute tin opening effect as they find themselves frags all across the board. But Baif going to be answering it back now, finds himself a frag, finds himself the trade, really starts to edge things back in towards the Reason and Fader. But he's still got a lot of work up ahead of him to try and do here. He's going to be trying to frags. Will he be able to connect the shots though? That's going to be the question now as the over that bomb in mid, and it's a Reason Gaming. It's almost a retake attempt coming in now as well, but we'll find one looking for a second, then he's going to connect the shots, and now he's going to be hungry, looking for a third out, hungry for Butter Bloodhound, looking for its evening meal, suffice to say now, as it's going to be Rattlesnake crouched in the corner, and if Weber peeks around this one, if he peeks to the right, then he's going to find himself another easy frag, which he's going to find, and suddenly it's all on Pulse, AWP in hand, stuck towards the top of mid, and well, what can he make happen? In the flash, going to be rolling out, finds himself just caught by the slither of that one there, but even then, is it going to be enough? Tries to connect the first shot, distracted by that player in mid as Sliggy comes around from the side and connects that shot. So a round that looked so obtainable from the Orgless side, with a beautiful play coming in from Pulse, once again snatched away by Reason Gaming as they crush the hopes and dreams of those Orgless fans, just taking them away from them, denying them an opportunity to build up their economy, and instead forcing them to buy in with every single thing they've got into this 11th round, which, to be fair to them, is going to be a double up setup, and it's going to come down to them to really have to hit these shots, and already Dipan going to be doing the work as he takes Rattlesnake out of the equation.
Yep, see a Rattlesnake. Very quick frag there, straight off the bat, and there's one of the AWPs taken down. And that's part of the problem. If you've got a double AWP setup, oh, there goes the second AWP. See you later, Pulse, as he tries to push up and gets a little bit aggressive into mid. I kind of see the plan, at least if you drop the AWPer, then it kind of brings it back even, and then you can drop the AWP back into sight. And Orgless do have to start trying to make things happen here, but this is kind of the problem when things aren't going your way, and you've not got the economy to boot. Even loss bonus, it still leaves you in a pretty perilous position when you're trying to make your plays on CT side and win out some rounds. Then you can't afford to end up losing weapons like that and throwing them away. And sometimes saving an AWP can be the difference between a win and a loss, especially if you play in a defensive position, and they haven't got that opportunity anymore. So still time for a bomb plant to come in, but it's now over on the A platform, and it looks like it's a chance for Reason to go on a little bit of a hunt.
Yeah, so a fairly interesting thought process coming out from the Orgless side. They tried to make the best of that one, but just right from the get-go, they just find themselves on the back foot as Rattlesnake was just taken out of the equation straight off the bat, and it just leaves Mighty Max and PT in a bit of an awkward one now, as of course Pulse fell early on as well, not aided by release, and well, it's just going to mean that Weber is there ready to mop things up as he connects himself those last 2 frags, and it means that, well, the sort of situation we're in right now, Crossy, is going to be a 9-2 scoreline, and we're rolling very, very quickly towards the end of this first half, and Still, Orgless looking in a very uncomfortable situation. Of course, they've got these P250s to play with, but even then, this is another eco round coming into play, and we have seen some great stuff come out from them with these pistols, but is it going to be enough? Are they going to be able to make these situations happen? You know, reason they fell one too many times now to those up-close CZs. There's only so many times you can get away with the same joke before it gets old, and well, that seems to be a bit of a recurring problem for them now.
Yeah, it does, and we've got Weber and Sliggy both chasing down the first half 20 bomb. Baith showing great rifle control as he flicks across to release Weber. So he's able to jump and take out PT before Rattlesnake's there to back him up, so they're just a little bit behind. That could have been a completely different story, in fact, as Max, he comes in, takes down Keita from behind, and now suddenly this is another one of those achievable positions, potentially, but Sliggy, he's not afraid to face the form that he's been in this second map as the plant now comes in. 3 versus 1, Mighty Max, last man standing for Orgless. Let's see if he can pull off a bit of a clutch, and he's bottom of the scoreboard, actually, joint bottom of the scoreboard, 3 frags along with PT, so by the contrary, he's struggled to get into it, but then so have Orgless, completely struggled to get into it because they've not had the weapon advantage. They just haven't been able to buy. And this is the problem with Mirage. He just gets such a momentum thing as Mighty Max, so he's able to get 2. Baith last man standing. What's he going to be able to do? No kit on Mighty Max, and Baith is nowhere near. He's gone and exited the site, and I think he's maybe not expecting the Max to go be sitting on this thing, but that's exactly what he's doing. And Baith, oh wow, with literally half a second, ends up picking that thing up, and oh, Orgless, this is not going your way, guys.
Yeah, they're certainly looking like they are struggling to make anything happen at all. The odds seem to be just getting continuously stacked in their favour, and that's only proven by what you just witnessed. Such beautiful play coming in, while some interesting comments being made by the players themselves as well, and that certainly just highlights exactly what is unfolding, with 10-2 now being the scoreline, and Orgless, they have an opportunity to try and fight this one back, but Baith certainly looks like he wants to upset things straight away. Tries to go for a frag on towards PT, not quite going to connect all that's needed to find that killing blow, but even then the tagging will be delivered. 30 HP being dished off to him, and already placed on the back foot there, just a slight disadvantage, but Depan also finds himself tagged down just to 66 HP, but he's going to be hungry, looking for a frag here, and he's looking to get himself up in window, and if he can, then he's going to be looking fairly happy about that one, of course, as Orgless, they don't seem to be wanting to contest short too much. Pulse just debating whether he should push up any further or not. He seems to be very hesitant about making that sort of decision, and well, that play alone could certainly spell disaster for the Orgless side now, as reason they get themselves in a very comfortable situation. Keita going to make a step, so certainly going to make Release at least aware of what exactly is going to be going on. Pulse, sorry, not Release, but even then they're going to be aware of exactly what is unfolding. Or if once that smoke fades, PT, if he peeks out again, could potentially find himself a frag on towards Weber, which he is going to find. So it's a good opener from Orgless. They're actually finding themselves an advantage, clawing it back out of thin air. So already going to be trying to make the best of this situation. But even then, it's still looking pretty bleak as Depan will go in with a huge pick with the AWP on towards PT. Just really making some smooth work of what he's done. As now Rattlesnake will take down Sliggy, but not long before Baith will clinch out a frag with that rifle on him. And Depan finds himself another release. Finds a trade straight back onto Baith, of course. And it does make things a 2v2 as Depan now getting very, very aggressive, hungry for the frag on towards Release. But it comes down to whether he's going to find it. And they don't realise they're running into each other as both of the Ts have pushed in towards ramp. And well, this could prove to be devastating now as Release is ready and waiting, looking to find a frag here, but he misses all of the shots, and it's just not going to work out in his favour. But thankfully Max is there, ready to mop up as the fail-safe clause, and it will mean, of course, Orgless, they welcome the 3rd round on the board. But if Mighty Max wasn't there, and that fail-safe wasn't set up, then it all could have went horribly wrong for the Orgless side.
Yeah, it could. Look at this, they can't even rebuy. You got a swag 7 up, you got a couple of Famises. PT has no armour whatsoever, nothing to really play with, and the reset is potentially on. That could end up, if Reason pick this one up, they're going to be up against a really scrubby buy next time, probably upgraded pistols with armour, so Orgless need to get this one on the board, if nothing else. Reason absolutely fine, try and work with it. I think Orgless maybe nearly paid the price for just letting Reason have complete control of the mid. They just back right off, and they've gone from maybe being too aggressive and get themselves picked off too early to maybe just being too passive, and they got away with it in the end with a bit of individual brilliance from Release, making use of the smoke and their facilities. And it's not the first time that we've seen them do this in this match, a similar kind of situation that you end up winning out playing defensively over towards the B site on the last map. And we see a similar kind of thing. Still don't want to give away any advantage to Mighty Max. He's already taken down Weber, and Depan though, he's got the opportunity to work up onto short. picked off straight away, and it's in the spray down, so they do end up cleaning that one up. So it is going to be Orgless getting their 4th round on the board. They're going to be able to now upgrade and get a full buy, going ready for this last round to face off against the double AUK setup coming in from Reason Gaming. Whether he can scrub, and Deco in hand of Dipan.
Yeah, and the key thing to note for me is that they've picked up around and they found some momentum. So it is that sort of repetitive process that we saw in that that last map, and that's a really big important thing that I really feel like I want to stress across here, because what is the secret ingredients, if I should say, that Orgless are able to use here just to completely take the wind out of Reason's get sales suddenly after they just pick up that one round, that momentum just apparently is so strong on its own without really much else being put into it. And of course, it certainly doesn't take away from the great shots that Orgless are landing, as well as for Reason as well. But even then, it seems to be just something we're missing there. A small gameplay decision perhaps that's just allowing them, just after picking up that one round, that momentum, just allowing them to carry it through. And it's Pulse once again kicking things off with a frag on towards Weber.
It doesn't put Pulse over the takedown, Dipan as well, so Orgless going to try and make it 10-5. They're going to at least give themselves a fighting chance. There's still so much pressure they're going to have on their pistol round regardless, and I think we kind of realised pretty early on in this first half that was going to be the Sitch. Keita and Rattlesnake end up trading off. Rattlesnake grabbing a frag on Baith just before that, but it is going to be 4v2. Sliggy and Keita all up each, so they're going to be trying to get some range and making this thing happen, but you see that can't quite happen. Sliggy has to try and get aggressive, and he's very quickly picked up by Release. So Keita, chance to be a hero, and he starts things off by missing his first shot. I think he might have tanked actually, got Pulse through the metal, but that's all he's able to get as Mike Max cleans up. So 10-5 it's going to be. Now, lots of pressure on this pistol round, but Orgless have at least put themselves from a definite losing position to a situation where they can at least try and make something happen.
Yeah, 10-5, in the grand scheme of things, isn't actually half bad. So they have brought it back from that very one-sided sort of scoreline that looked like it was going to be coming very, very soon, to a bit of a mediocre is probably not even the right word. It's actually probably better than that. It's it's a doable scoreline on Mirage, and of course Reason are going to be rolling on towards their CT side though, so they of course are going to be happy with how that one went for them. And it all comes down to this pistol round. Are we going to be seeing a bit of a similar fate to what we saw in Cash, or we saw that pistol round already go towards the side of that winning team? And well, for the Reason side, I certainly hope that they have got what it takes, and we are going to be seeing Dipan try and tap away. You will find one looking for a second as well, but not long before Max getting up close and personal on towards Baith now. Well, Pulse and Max are just doing all the work as they pick themselves up some frags respectively, and Sliggy, of course, will come in with a trade frag on towards Pulse in the end, bringing it back to a 3v3, so the hope's still intact for the Reason Gaming side as they come in towards this retake. Now, there's going to be 2 players coming quickly towards CT. They will, of course, find one, but Max is still ready and waiting, wants to find Keita, trapping him while he tries to go for the reload. Well, it looked a pretty rough one at that, and Max will eventually, of course, find the frags, leaving him just a 1v1. It's going to be Weber peeking around the corner, trying to make the best of the situation, pushing up nice and close here, trying to find the frag, but Max is just ready and waiting, and as you say, certainly worthy of a beautiful reaction there, as he takes his head clean off, really answering back, and Orgless, they pick up that pistol round, making the scoreline 10-6.
Yeah, they do, and I think Max, I don't know if he knew or maybe had half an inkling that Weber didn't have a kit, but didn't have to draw him out. And nice little shot actually in the end. I think if he hadn't picked up the frag on Weber, it would have been enough just running down the time. But just finish that thing off as well, which is a benefit. And let's try and add a little more cash into the coffers. You see, I've gone for a double AK already, and Mighty Max and Pulse have gone that route. Well, Max has got plenty of utility as well, so that's a nice little benefit for him. Release and PT going for the umps, and we've got a Mac 10 as well in the hands of Rattlesnake, so a couple of frags for him will help him build a bankroll pretty quickly. 200% kill bonus for grabbing yourself a Mac 10. Same can be said for those umps as well, so that's going to be a nice little builder if they can push this thing through. But they've still got to go in. They are on T side, so they've got to be the aggressors, and when you're trying to do that, well, got players on pistol and just working the angles and getting crossfires going, then you never know, especially if they're on point. And got a double scout actually from Keita and Dipan, so they're going to try and force this thing home. And Orgless haven't got too many rounds to deal with as Rattlesnake and Baith. He's got in, he's taken 2 frags before PT is able to get Mighty Max. A great play from Baith already, try to do some damage, and now they've got to try and work from this if they can. Top of mid, 40 seconds left to go, and this could be playing straight into the arms of Dipan, who's got one of the scouts, and he's just missed the shot, I think. Or has he? No, Pulse down to 29 points of health, so he catches one of those bullets. But with the Scout, it is a tagging weapon at best. 25 seconds left to go. And Orgless, similar kind of thing to what Reason were going through last time. Maybe haven't got enough time to make anything happen. Keita is going to try and slow up as best he can with that Scout in hand. Dip on with his, gets some frag before PT drops in, and they now have control of the site. But how controlled is it? Well, Weber's already got one. 2v1, Pulse down to 29 points of health. No nades up. That would have been enough to do the job for these two Reason Gaming players, but they've already got a pincer movement of sorts coming in, and they just need to trade. If not, oh no, Sliggy picks it up, and it's going straight back in favour of Reason Gaming, and oh wow, Orgless had a chance to bring this thing home, and they might have just squandered it.
Yeah, that's going to be the recurring problem for them, as they have just lost their advantage. And well, Reason Gaming just once again, coming out with the unthinkable. Just some really, that's been a really big phrase tonight, just alone, the unthinkable, because it's happened so much. Both of these teams have delivered some great moments of Counter-Strike, and well, I know you guys at home are all constantly going to be having this debate once again, the same debate we talk about every single week, which is UK Counter-Strike and comparing it to every other scene. But even then, let's just take a moment, let's just take a breather for a second and talk about UK Counter-Strike on its own, as its own separate entity. And well, if there is one fact alone that can't be denied, is that we've seen some great plays coming in tonight. Some great stuff has happened, and well, though we certainly can't take that away from any of these players in server, as they are all putting their hearts and souls and their skill into this game and into this entire series to try and make this one happen for both of their teams. And well, that's certainly going to be reflected into this map alone, and we saw that happen in the last map as well. And talking about this map, it's going to be round 18, 6-11 being the scoreline, and well, Orgless finding themselves once again on the back foot here. They have got these Tech 9s to try and get themselves nice and close and personal here, but they still have to make it work. And well, for the Reason Gaming side, it's just going to come down to those rifles, and they take the long duels. Weber and Sliggy will find themselves one pick. Pulse will take down Baif in the end. They're picking himself up a rifle to try and utilise, but it's still a pretty awkward situation at that now for the teams. And they're going to be peeking towards CT, looking like he's going to connect the shot on one. He will take Keita down, but Depan will effectually find the trade, and now Sliggy going to be coming hot on their toes. Weber going to be following him as well. The retake going to be rolling in, and suddenly Release left all alone. 1 HP left to play with, and Reason Gaming give him no opportunity to breathe, cutting him into a bit of a box there and just leaving him no opportunity to play, as that defuse will roll in. 12 rounds on the board for Reason Gaming, as they find themselves 6 rounds ahead of the Orgless side.
Yeah, they do it. It's all moving in their direction because they can't really force up. Maybe Pulse could go AK, but I think and quite white. Oh, okay, they are going for a force. Wow, I was not expecting that, and I potentially wouldn't have recommended that one either. And something I raised, I think it might have been one of the weeks when Brod was covering for you over the last week or two, Flakes. But I did suggest that maybe we don't see enough teams to just go for a full eco and rack up as much cushion as they can, because you see straight away, if Orgless don't pick this one up, well, that's not helped with Weber already getting an opening pick, then it just piles so much pressure on you. You're never really going to build enough for a finance to put a run together, and if that keeps happening and you're scrubbing together, then you're never comfortable. You can never play it in the way that you would normally want it to happen in an ideal world, in the way that you practiced, and that's where you can get caught out and dip on. Straight away, he goes pushing through against these players with their scrubby buy. Pulse's AK has gone down. It's up in the hands of Mighty Max now, but he's only got 8 points of health. Caught by Sliggy with the AWP, so massive overkill there, but it doesn't matter against the 8 HP guy. And Release going to be running straight into B, just looking for a plant, trying to get the cash, and going to get caught pretty quickly as he's going to walk into Sliggy's scope, and does. And it's another round on the board for Reason Gaming, and maybe wouldn't have expected this, but they're making fairly light work of Orgless, and again, they've got nothing. They can't even scrub now. There's no AKs available for them.
Yeah, suffice to say, they've literally got nothing left. There is no opportunity for them to even try and make a force out of this, as if they do go for a force, they're effectively signing their own death wish now, as Reason Gaming looking so strong, being able to make all of the plays and hitting all the shots they need to try and close out this map and tie this one up to 1-1. And well, that'd be a fairly solid feat at that, as Orgless, they've had a good run in this UK Masters so far, and well, after last week and now this week as well, it's looking like things might be changing, and well, the group stage are certainly going to be wide open for the taking now. It's really going to make that playoffs that extra bit more interesting, in my opinion, so it does really just make things anybody's game, and makes that first place prize really up for grabs for any team who want to be making it to that LAN final stage. And we'll talk about those LAN finals. It's certainly going to be an exciting one at that, and it's going to be interesting to see which teams can make it to that coveted stage spot. And well, this game is certainly going to have a massive impact on that one, of course, as looking like potentially we're going to be seeing this one get tied up, as the clock going to be ticking down. A minute left for both teams to try and play with here, and Orgless look like they're going to be hitting towards this B site, but Keita, he's ready and waiting. He's holding the cross, he's going to find the first, looking for a second as well, and doesn't quite connect it, but he does manage to get the Molotov down, and that's going to have a massive factor in this round. However, and Depan doing all the work. Keita's Molotov finds himself a frag on towards PT, purely down to that one alone, and Release now, once again, left in a situation, trying to claw this one back, trying to keep the dreams alive for the Orgless side, as he finds two beautiful frags with the Deagle in hand, tries to go with the bomb down as well, but Baith is there just to deny that one and to smash his dreams into the floor. Reason Gaming, they find themselves their 14th round, Orgless still sitting on their 6th, and Orgless starting to struggle just a little bit here.
Yeah, they are. I mean, back up on the buy, so Rattlesnake, he's got the AWP in hand, but only 9 frags in 20 rounds of Counter-Strike, so he's been struggling. He's not hitting his straps, and for the second time we've seen Orgless faltering in a way that we wouldn't have expected. Release taking down to 18 points of health, and they know that there is plenty of mid-action, and that probably will have been called off that tag as well. So you might see the odd pre-nade coming in, just trying to pick up that frag on Release early doors, which is a very real possibility, especially if they try and push somewhere en masse, which might end up being a plan. That has been Reason's MO from what we saw from the first map at least, where they left it just a little bit too late. I think for Orgless, maybe we're going to see a similar kind of thing from them now. And it seems like the bigger thing for them is that they've just been getting picked off too early, and they haven't had too many opportunities to get full buy going. But Rattlesnake, he's already got one. That's PT who goes down. Dipan there with the frag there, and Baith able to get Pulse as he steps out through the apartments into A. And it seems like it was a bit of an after you. And there we go now, Mighty Max, he goes through. I don't know if he was trying to push or if Pulse went too early or what the deal is, but it's a botched A strat. Release, who we've already talked about, 18 points health. Rattlesnake steps out. There's the bomb down. There's the AWP down. And there is overtime guaranteed for Reason. And they are looking to steal this one away from Orgless on their map choice. Wow.
What a solid night of CS it has been. Orgless, of course, taking Reason Gaming as map choice off of them, and now Reason Gaming looking to really, just pay back that favour as they potentially look to walk away with a victory here over on Mirage, which is going to be Orgless's map pick themselves. And well, that really just highlights that these UK Masters games can go any direction, and it's not all about those vetoes. It simply is all on the table for anyone to walk away with them. Or to kick things off, it is going to be Reason looking just to end this one here and now, and it's a triple setup coming into play here. They're going to be looking to pick them off like ducks on a turkey shoot range, and well, will they be able to make it one happen? As of course PT finds himself getting legged, Max getting knocked down to just 59 HP, and it's already not boding too well. Now Sliggy going to throw a perfect HE grenade out, which is going to land straight into the hands of PT, as he's going to be catching that one, and Depan peeks out, curves a shot straight into the hands of Max, and already Orgless, they're falling to pieces as Depan finds himself a second as well on towards Release. It's looking rougher and rougher by the second. Pulse and Rattlesnake need to clutch this one out, and well, they will find the first, but not before Depan comes in with a pistol and finds himself a frag on towards Rattlesnake, and well, it's all done and dusted. It has only gone and happened. Reason Gaming, they snuck it in. 16-6 is the scoreline, and somehow they have made it happen. What a beautiful night of CS it has been.